insurance online to find a local agent today. TFNB, your bank for life. The official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Baylor Scott and White Health, the official hospital and healthcare system of Baylor Athletics. Your healthcare, your way. HEB, the official grocer of Baylor Athletics. Proudly serving Texans since 1905. Rudy's Barbecue, the home of real Texas barbecue. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Baylor Bears, John Morris.
From Rudy's on a Thursday evening, the Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank. Folks, you are here on a good night. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Our first guest tonight, Baylor softball coach Glenn Moore. Welcome, Coach Moore.
Always good to be here and smell the wonderful smells of barbecue and have to wait 30 minutes to eat some.
Oh, that's torture, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You got to wait. Well, you'll be ready by the time we cut you loose at the bottom of the hour. Janice Moore is here. Janice, it's always nice to see you. Thank you very much. And y'all are keeping track of a softball game. Shocking, right? But it's Ty is coaching, and you're keeping track of his game.
Yeah, just seeing if he stays in it and not get ejected. It's it's tough to keep him in a game these days.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
he's down at Houston Christian and playing. I think they're up 5-0, so we get to cheer for 7-0.
Oh,
now,
nice.
So they're winning.
Yep. Toward a run rule.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
Well, thanks for being here. Everything good?
Always good to be here. We're starting Big 12 play tomorrow. We're excited about that. The girls are in good moods. They had a good practice today. So, yeah, things are good.
Do you feel ready? Is it time to start Big 12 play? Would you like to have a little more time? How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't want me to harp on the youth of our team, but I don't know if you ever feel like you're completely ready. But I think every time we go out there, even when we fail, we're failing in the right direction and getting better from those struggles and losses. And I think this team has a high softball IQ for even the youth. So, I think we're ready to dive into it.
The youth, and we've talked a lot about that. What is the number? 18 newcomers on your team this year. But now here you are 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks in, 4 weeks into the season? Do you see the progress and the learning that you would hope to see there?
Absolutely, but I'm going to keep using those excuses as long as I need to.
All year, right?
No, they are certainly growing. As you do any year, you move people around early on. You try different lineups, and we've pretty much solidified what we think is going to be our best lineup. We're going to make some changes. We've got a good bench where we can bring some good hitters off the bench and hit for some that maybe not seeing the ball well at the time. Right fields, we've got some depth there, some talent there, so we've moved some people around that we're comfortable with. Nobody really that we're unhappy with, but just some that are performing a little bit better than others. But still, a lot of youth, and this game demands a lot out of you intellectually when you have to play first and thirds and bunt coverages versus short games. We call strictly different in and out defenses. So that's the thing. A young kid takes a little bit longer to play their best because they got to get comfortable with the different schemes.
I hear some younger players, freshmen for the most part, in other sports talk about, the question is, what's the difference when you come up to the Division I level? And a lot of them say the speed of the game. And I think that would probably translate to softball, not just the speed of a pitcher, but just the speed of the game, everything, right?
Yeah, I think they're absolutely right. And for some reason it's magnified when you're on a big stage as well, and you're in front of 1,200 people or so, and maybe there's a few hecklers in there. It's just the ball looks smaller, and it takes a little while to get comfortable. It's not that they're not talented enough to play, but they're in a new environment. They're coming from an environment, obviously all of them at Baylor have excelled in the previous level they wouldn't be here. And now they get set back a little bit. They're competing for starting positions or playing time with some that are 3 and 4 and 5 years older than them who have been at this level for a while. So it does take a little adjustment time.
Yeah, and the young players, not just role players, not just bench players. You got some in really key starting roles, don't you?
We really do. We've got Kagan Marshall, who's just a phenomenal athlete, local kid from Robinson, who is, we're excited about what she's going to eventually do for us, and she's growing. A hitter that I think can be one of the best hitters we've had in our program in a long time, and Olivia Bittner, both freshmen there. We've got some on the bench that are freshmen and young kids that are not getting a lot of playing time that we think are pretty good. I think our depth is better than we've maybe ever had here, John. We may not have the All-Americans in the starting role, but we've got the next level player, and then we've got more of them right now.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very happy with that. Our pitching's coming along with some arms that had a lot of rust on them. They're starting to throw better ball and more efficient ball. So really like what we're doing.
Yeah. What you're saying without saying it is y'all recruited pretty well. I mean, you brought in some really good, talented players.
I think we did well in the portal. We jumped on it quick. We got two good arms in Cambry Krager and Peyton Tanner. And, we already had a few returning. So those were good arms. We've got some position players that are new from the portal and then freshmen. So I do think we have some quality talent. And the season's going to grow them. The Big 12 is going to be tougher than what our non-conference was overall, although we've been tested a little bit in non-conference for sure, going out to Clemson and then starting with Mississippi State, who's ranked in the top 15 now, and Clemson's probably a top 10 team by now. And, we've seen where we are. We know what we need to do to get to those areas, and we've got a lot of work to do, but we're going to grow with the season.
Yeah, that's good. You mentioned two newcomers, your pitchers, 1 and 2 in some order, Krager and Tanner. Would they be – do you have a number one? Would you say you have a number one? Are they co-number ones, or how do you look at that?
Yeah, so we discussed that this week, and I think we have co-number ones. Okay. I really do.
Yeah.
So I feel comfortable with either one of those. It may have something to do with the scouting report and the swing plane of a batter or hitting philosophy of a team on whether we go that route or not. But I think although all of our pitchers are righties, we have good diversity with down pitchers and up pitchers so that we can make a mix, and they're all performing at a level to where we feel comfortable coming out of the bullpen with, say, Sadie Ross after an up ball pitcher like Peyton Tanner. So you can mix the different planes and decide what you want to do there. And Coach Newman and I sit and talk each game, and it's almost the same thing. We could go with either one of those two, and then we feel good about, the other ones that are in the bullpen. So I think I've said earlier that I thought we would have very few complete games, but we're starting to push our pitch count up to, above 100. Sometimes Krieger is through a little over 100 Tuesday, and Peyton Tanner's longevity is increasing all the time as well. What I really like, and he's not really a starter for us, but Lexi Warnke is starting to – she's in the upper 60s pitcher with a high velocity and good off speed, and she's really coming around and building her confidence. She may be a secret weapon before it's all over with. So
nice, very good.
We've got some things working. We need to score some runs for them, and we need to play defense behind them. But our strikeouts increasing. I think Krieger had a career high of 8 on Tuesday, so things are looking up.
It's starting to warm up too. Is that a difference in your sport? When you get out of the colder weather and kind of play more seasonal temperatures.
Well, I schedule according to what I want, and I want to be in warm climates. That's why we've been out to San Diego.
Sure.
Next year we're going to open up in Sarasota, Florida, so that plays a big role in it. But I do think the health of your pitchers and your team is benefited by being in warmer climates.
Yeah,
so.
And Hoot loves it much better.
No doubt about it.
It's got to get to 80 before he takes his jacket off, though.
Well, it's going to be warm this weekend, I think. It was warm out there today anyway.
Dodging the rain a little bit. You've changed your schedule for this weekend?
Yeah, we are going to go to tomorrow starting at 1 p.m. Originally scheduled for 6:30, I believe, and looks like we're going to have a wet weekend. So 1 o'clock doubleheader tomorrow, trying to beat the storms that are coming in, and then play it by ear the rest of the weekend. We're scheduled for 2:30 on Saturday. We'll stay with that for now and just kind of see how things work. We'll hopefully get those 2 in tomorrow and have the rest of the weekend to find a gap in the weather to play the third one.
That'd be pretty good. Do you feel good about getting 2 in tomorrow starting at 1?
Well, I feel good because of what I've been told.
Okay.
Meteorologists say that, there's some stuff coming in later on, and, I think they worry about the storm pushing in some electrical activity, and that's a 30-minute delay every time you get a lightning strike within 8 miles. So, you get in the middle of that over the weekend, and you just get your team ready, and then you get a lightning strike. You got 30-minute delay. It can move on. It moves fast around here, but then as soon as one pops, you got another 30 minutes. So it's really hard to get in a rhythm, and you don't see your best ball when all that starts to happen. But it's safety's a factor, and we've got certainly a more important factor than getting in a softball game.
Yeah, very good. Well, hope you're not starting and stopping all weekend. Hope you find a window and get those games
on,
in.
tarp off. Those are Phil Crew never gets the credit they deserve for the work they do, but we certainly have a great one, and they're in for they got baseball too, so they're going to be working both facilities.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we're off and running with Coach Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach. Really nice crowd here this evening. Thank you for being here. Thanks to those of you watching. Thanks to those of you listening. It's our Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank, your leading independent bank, and we'll continue with Coach Glenn Moore right after this.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. No reputable company or government agency will ever ask you to pay them with gift cards, Bitcoin, or a person-to-person payment app. Scammers use these options because the money can't be traced. Just don't do it.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas. Every line, weld, and seal, shaped with the pride, heat, and strength that only Texas really knows. The Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today. Toyota. Let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for details.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed. Smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
And welcome back on the Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank. Thanks to our host here at Rudy's. We appreciate Rudy's greatly. Proud sponsor of Baylor Athletics. Be sure to stop by. I say proud sponsor. That's what's written here. I'm going to say proud partner of Baylor Athletics. Be sure to stop by your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com for some real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. Don't forget Rudy serves breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. We continue with Coach Glenn Moore, making him wait to do his portion of the show before he dives into the Rudy's. What's your go-to here? Do you mix it up? Do you have the same thing?
The chicken, I like chicken.
It's really good.
But I really like the baby back ribs
too.
So
yeah, that is
I'm
good.
going for the ribs tonight. I'm ready right now.
You led with chicken, but you then.
I might eat some of both. I'm looking at the menu right now. It's
chicken and ribs is coming up, both for Coach Glenn Moore. Iowa State this weekend. Tell us about the Cyclones.
Cyclones are always tough. They finished third in the Big 12 last year. Jamie Pinkerton, a good friend of mine, has been running the show up there for a little while. Just very impressed with what he does. They always fight hard. They're a team that you can't relax on if you were to get a lead. Matt was telling me that the team over the last 3 years that hosted had won the series. We were the only team last year to, believe it or not, to win a Friday game against them.
Oh, wow.
And we won convincingly, but then the next 2 days they took it from us. So as I said, they finished third in the Big 12 and didn't make the postseason. It was is terrible in my opinion because we're a Power 4 good conference. And their strength of schedule is because of where they are is a little tough to play who they need to early on, and I think that hurt them a little bit. But a team that swings the bat really well, and we're just going to have good pitching against them. I think we match up pretty well. I think we're very similar teams.
I'd forgotten about that. They finished third in the league and didn't make the NCAAs last year.
They did not. Took 4 teams, and they weren't one of them.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Wow. All right, so maybe the home field will continue to work in your favor this year.
Hopefully. We need to play well because I know they're certainly not going to give you anything. You've got to earn it.
What's the difference when you get to Big 12 play, stylistically with your team, decisions you make, any difference there?
No, I don't know that there's a ton of difference because you work up to the Big 12 and you want, by the time you get there, I usually say mid-March I want to know my starting lineup, but really we've got a good idea of what we need to do and what subs we need to make. And as I said earlier, we've got a bench of hitters that I think I can pinch hit when we're not doing well, so I'm more confident in that in the past. So it's no difference in style. You just get a little bit more consistent with staying with the lineup, not experimenting quite as much. We have enough midweeks from here on out to where we can do that and not rust off pitchers and players if we need to in those. But it's about winning games. You got to win. You got to be 500 or more to get considered for the NCAA tournament, and you've got to do well in conference and increase your RPI.
Speaking of midweeks, I think it's a Friday, Saturday, but you got a home-and-home with Texas coming up, don't you?
We do, defending national champions, and that'll be already sold-out games.
Nice.
Sold out a while ago. We got one with Texas A&M coming up that is already sold out as well. So I'm excited about the fact that the community's supporting us. We've got to give them something to cheer for, but those are two opponents, I think, that are going 3 games. One's at Texas and one here. That certainly will tell us where we are with our team right now.
Nice. Do you like continuing those games with them?
Well, I think, I think it's important that you take advantage of out-of-conference opponents that strengthen your schedule.
Yeah.
So you don't have to spend much to go down there. You don't stay overnight. You go down there and you get better. You don't get better by playing people you're better than. You get better by playing people that are better than you. And right now, both of those programs are doing well, defending national champions, and A&M was the #1 seed going into the NCAA tournament.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't make it to the NCAA. Yeah. Didn't make it to the World Series, but got upset by Liberty. But both of them are very strong programs. The state of Texas has some good softball in it right now.
Good. How would you say, I guess we're a couple years removed, right, from Oklahoma and Texas leaving. A&M was way back. But how would you say the league has responded, adding the new schools, and just kind of, get on the footing of what is now the new Big 12?
Well, I don't know the number, but Arizona and Arizona State have a ton of national champions between the two of them. Arizona probably has 10 or 12 under Coach Mike Kendrea. Yeah. Arizona State has two, I think. So you're adding softball powers from the West that have now a stronghold on recruiting out there because of the Pac-12. I mean, they're still going across the country and playing, but they're very appealing to the West Coast where the softball is strong. UCF, I think, has one of the best teams in the league this year. They have an outstanding pitcher. We'll see them next week. Houston's better this year. So it's more parity, I think, across the board in softball. But obviously you're going to lose a little bit of the strength of your conference when you lose a national champion and then somebody that's won 5 national champions in the last 6 years.
Yeah. All right. Very good. All right. Let's take a break, and when we come back, your questions from the audience for Coach Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach, as we continue on the Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's, and we'll be right back after this.
Looking for a fun night out with family or friends? Head to Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark and catch Baylor baseball this season. Single game tickets are on sale now, starting at just $5 for general admission seating. Or stop by the ballpark for $2 Tuesdays, featuring discounted concession items plus $2 off general admission tickets. Grab your seats now at BaylorBears.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Baylor Ballpark.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
If you need a trailer, Flat Rock Trailers has got you covered. From light-duty single-axle utility trailers to the big Tex tandem duals. We also carry a full line of enclosed cargo trailers. Need a motorcycle trailer? We've got them. Need a dump trailer? We've got the largest selection in the state. Oilfield trailers? We carry a full line of big Tex trailers to handle all your needs. Trailer repairs? We repair all makes and models. We'll even rent you a trailer if you need to use one for a day. Flat Rock Trailers, your #1 source for all your trailer needs. Find us at flatrocktrailers.com.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Coach Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach, and we've got questions from the audience coming up. I see Brittany back there. Brittany, I'm just going to say manager on duty, right? I'm not sure what the title would be. But folks, join me in saying thanks to Brittany and the crew of Rudy's. We appreciate y'all very much, and we love coming here, so thank you very much. Thanks for everything. All right, questions from the audience for Coach Moore. I'm going to shuffle these up. I know you looked at them ahead of time. You know what's coming. Good question first from Roy Evans, front and center. He said, great job by Cambry. We're talking about that this week. Who would you compare her to from past pitchers?
Good question, Roy, and thank you for always being here. We appreciate y'all. So I think Cambry reminded me a whole lot when I was recruiting her out of high school and travel ball of Brittany, our pitching coach, Brittany Newman. There's some similarities. Brittany was, as we all know, an All-American from LSU and from the Houston area, was outstanding pitcher. And Cambry is like a year behind. She didn't pitch a lot last year at Arizona State. Freshman went in and changed some things up there. So she's about a year behind, but she's making big progress. Very confident pitcher, very high intellect, and her velocity is actually, of course, most kids are throwing harder these days than they did, but it's actually a little higher than Coach Newman's was at the time, and Coach Newman had a killer change and was just dominating. So I think I'm hoping that she can get to, near that level, but if she gets within 10-15% of that, she's going to be pretty good for us.
Sheesh, that's a good comparison.
It is. I know it's big words, and I don't say that lightly. I think she's got some special stuff.
Yeah, very good. All right, great question, Roy. Thank you. Bob Barrett, Coach Barrett right here asked, it's going to get you to look into your crystal ball to the end of the season, okay? At season's end, which player will lead the team in home runs, in batting average, in most pitching wins, and who will be the team MVP?
Okay, I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But I will go ahead and say that I've always predicted this kind of stuff. I've predicted wins. I've predicted lineups. And many times throughout the summer, I'll write a lineup out, maybe 100 times. I'm never right. Never right. So I do think probably Carrington Dawson might carry the batting average, although Amber Tovin has looked really good, and lately Brooklyn Carter. Home runs, I would probably say Leah Cran's going to come back around. She just hits the ball on the screws so often. She's just got a low launch angle. If you see, she hits line drives, which is good at our park because we have 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts coming in our face. But I think she'll probably pull away with that, but Carrington could make a move there. Kagan Marshall has 3 already. She's very capable if she gets in the zone. But I think we're leading right now with Amber Tovin, who has had a good start. And most wins for a pitcher, I'm going to go with Tanner or Krager are going to get the most starts and opportunities to get wins. So it's hard to pick out of those, just whichever one takes off the most. what was the other one? Batting average? No,
Yeah.
I think I said.
Who's the team MVP at the
team
end of the
MVP?
season?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Is it Janice Moore? Is that the answer?
So I'm not going to pick. I'm gonna not pick a MVP. I do think that the most important right now, our team MVP would be Jensen VN, because she is the one that sits over there in the dugout and watches the runners leave early or watches for safe out, and she is 100% on telling me when to challenge. So that
oh, really?
the people on the TV will give me the credit for Coach Moore, great decision. It's all Jensen VN telling me when to challenge. She left early, Coach. She's got a great eye, and I can't tell you how valuable that is for someone to be over there that has that good an eye to see whenever they leave early or they're safe whenever they call them out, and we make a challenge, and I get to retain that challenge. So right now, Jensen VN is our most valuable player.
Well, she's too good at that. You got to keep her on the bench. You can't put her in the field because you
don't tell her that.
No,
tell her that.
You can't lose her from being there right behind you in the dugout. That is pretty important. So in basketball, you can challenge now. Like you can or ask for a replay review, and they keep track there, like who really pushes for it, if it's a player, if it's Gabe Aubrey, who's the video guy, or somebody, and then they keep track of their record, how they are, if they win or lose. But you say Jensen is undefeated there.
Well, we have the whole dugout watching, and they'll assign a base, but she's the one that's right all the time, and I trust her. There's some that want us to be safe, that want it to work our way no matter what, and they're programmed to see it that way.
Right.
They're not the ones to trust. Jensen will tell me when not to challenge. She'll tell me when to challenge, and I think she's 100% accurate with the challenges. So it is very valuable.
Who of your assistant coaches can be trusted the most on that?
Coach Diaz is very passionate, so
yeah.
she has gotten a lot better at it. Early on, it was like it's always going our way. I don't know. I think they're all pretty good at it. So, but we have to take the emotion out of it.
Right.
Coach Hood always says that, shows his wisdom. Hey, you have to take the emotion out of it, and you have to look at it. Because prior to this year, you couldn't get your challenge back. You had to, even if you won, you didn't get it back.
Oh.
Now, if you win, you get it back. So you can retain those challenges. So I always thought that was unfair. If we were penalized by a bad call and we challenged it, then we get it the call reversed or overturned, but we lost our challenge. And they've changed that. So I pushed for that a good little bit. A few coaches did, and we got that changed.
I could just picture in my mind Megan in the first base coaching box, close play, and she's doing this, and part of that is trying to influence the umpire over there.
Yeah, and I like that, John. I like that.
Right.
And sometimes it does, but with replay now, they're going to figure it out. She had a big one. She had a big one changed for us that I could see no way that she was right about it. She said, she got back to first base. She said, I know she is safe, and I went with her gut feeling, and I don't think anybody thought they were going to overturn it, and they did.
Wow.
So it was an obstruction call going back into the base, I believe, but that was on Sunday against me, so it's an important one.
Wow, very good. All right, good questions there, Bob. Thank you for that. Here's another question from Roy from day one. Who are a couple of the best freshmen you have had at Baylor? So I think you're saying not just this year, right? Just incoming freshmen in your entire time here.
Well, this will surprise no one that remembers Brett Reagan. She was a 3-time All-American, should have been a 4-time All-American, tore ACL, and Hall of Fame player, retired her jersey. So Brett Reagan comes to mind first. Whitney Kenyon, of course, had her first win was against number 1 team in the country, Florida, Florida. Man, there's so many. Kathy Shelton was a big center fielder for us. I'm sure Chelsea Lake. There's some big names that have come through Baylor over the years. I'm probably going to get in trouble by not mentioning someone, but yeah, shortstop-wise, Denny Leal from Mexico City, Mexico, came to the United States not speaking a word of English. Graduated with a master's at Baylor, and now she'll be in a few weeks when we recognize the 2011 team. Runs the Mexican national softball organization down there now, so she was outstanding. We talked about her at San Diego State. She hit a ball against UCLA that went over the left field fence, the stadium seating, the parking lot, and into a tennis court on the other side.
Man.
Had to go 300 feet, but
Wow.
she was an outstanding player for us.
Wow, very good. Good names there, good questions. Thank you all very much for that. You mentioned, and I talked to Megan Diaz about this recently, she's sort of organizing the reunion that's coming up for the 2011 team. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's always exciting to get these girls back and see what's going on in their life and get to know them. I try to stay in touch with as many of them once a year with a happy birthday and, keep up with them best I can. But there's been a lot of girls come through our program here at Baylor and do a lot of great things. So we're going to have some of them back. The 2011 class, is it? Yeah, because we didn't get to recognize them because of
the
COVID.
10-year, right.
The 10-year, so we're bringing them on board. And that's another one. Megan Turk, one of the best third basemen we had. She's kind of spearheading the things here. She was an outstanding player from Smithson Valley down there, and she'll be back. We're going to have a bunch of them, so it'll be exciting.
What do you remember, what stands out from that team or that season, 2011?
So it runs together a little bit, but I want to say, and I may be wrong here, but I think it's 2011 when Whitney had to go double. We lost the game to Tulsa. Is that the right year? Am I on the right year, or is that 2014? We lost the game in the regional, sub-regionals to Tulsa.
Yeah, had to come back.
And she had to pitch back-to-back games. She threw 300 and something pitches in one day, but she led us to the super regional against Georgia, which everybody's saying you don't want to go play Georgia.
Yeah.
So the team that wins is the one that's really getting penalized. Georgia had won the SEC, and we go over there, and she just dominates Georgia, and we win in Athens against a very terrible crowd, and we head to the World Series. So that was a great experience, and she was really tough. I remember, if I can tell this story, I remember telling her after game one on a Sunday, it was very hot, telling her, hey, Whit, you got to go again. Our only chance is for you to go again right here. And she went in the dugout hallway, and you could hear it. Everybody else cleared the stadium. You could hear her just let out this big scream. And it's like, oh, my goodness, what's going on? And she walks around the corner. It's just me and Whit. She comes around, and she looks me straight in the eye, and she said, I'm ready. And she goes out there and just dominates.
Golly.
So, kind of gives me chills thinking about it, but she was a winner for sure.
It was 300. I remember 340 something. Does that sound right? That's crazy in one day.
Too, and she just goes and puts the team on her back, and we get to the World Series. So
that's a great memory. That's really cool. And that reunion is going to be when? Do you know offhand?
Help me out there, Matt. Anybody know? I can't remember.
The reunion of the 2011 team? I'll get back to you on that.
I think it's the Utah weekend.
Okay.
That's what I think. So
okay.
I'm not sure
that would
exactly.
be mid-April, so that makes sense.
Okay.
Very good. Well, thanks for being here tonight. Good luck this weekend against Iowa State. Hope you get all three of those games in. Hope you're not sitting around twiddling your thumbs a lot with the weather this weekend. But good luck, conference opening series.
Thank you, John. It's always good to be here.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Thanks. Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach. Baylor and Iowa State this weekend. Series begins tomorrow. They've changed the schedule. Now a doubleheader tomorrow beginning at 1. That's Friday afternoon beginning at 1. Single game right now still on 2:30 on Saturday. Take a break. Back with more in a moment. Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank. Let's give you our Baylor Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics health tip of the week. Don't let pain slow you down. We diagnose and treat sports-related injuries and provide orthopedic services for athletes and non-athletes alike. Visit a Baylor Scott and White Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Specialist and move like you used to. Back with more on the Baylor Coaches Show, live from Rudy's right after this.
We don't just
Right back.
We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas. Every line, weld, and seal, shaped with the pride, heat, and strength that only Texas really knows. The Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today. Toyota. Let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for details.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. If you get a call saying they're going to lock you in jail for missing jury duty unless you pay a fine, that's fake. Scammers use scare tactics to force you to act without thinking. Just hang up the phone.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Have you been to the new location of Green Eye Associates yet? You'll still receive the same award-winning service and excellent care from Dr. Green and her dedicated optometrists and staff. But now conveniently located in Woodway right off of Highway 84. Come see the expanded optical showroom and be sure to ask about innovative services like IPL treatments for dry eye symptoms and the brand new Sports Vision technology. Green Eye Associates, the official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
And we welcome you back live from Rudy's on the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank. Central National Bank, your leading independent bank. And folks, join me in welcoming Coach Scott Drew, Baylor men's basketball coach, with us this evening. Welcome to you.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. And you did have to hustle over here because you had a later practice as you kind of make it work for Caden Powell's schedule.
Yeah, so as you know, at Baylor, they're student athletes.
That's right.
Yeah, but especially with the transfer portal, when you get upperclassmen that transfer, to make sure they graduate in the major they want, you don't have the flexibility in some of those hours. So Tuesday, Thursday are our late practice days. We usually start around 4:30. So. Wow. We had a quick one today so that we can get over here.
Well, thanks very much. And Caden is what is he in? Is it engineering?
It's too intelligent for me to tell
Okay.
you.
It's above my head, too. But it's something like he's got this lab late, and that's why you have to go late.
Mechanical engineering or something?
I think so. Yeah. No, I think he is. Smart guy. What a good game he had last night.
Yep. I tell you, Caden's been a blessing. Really loves Baylor and the Waco community, and it's really cool having somebody from Waco on the team. It's our first one on scholarship. So obviously his mom's been here for 15 plus years in the law school and so highly thought of on campus. And again, Caden plays for that the name on front of the jersey, and he'll give you everything that he has.
Yeah, he's he's been so good to be here, and what a great pickup by you guys to get him here. And to me, he's just a Baylor guy, you know, even though this is one and probably only year here.
And Caden, the great thing about this is after this year's over, though, Caden, the one thing that he will do is continue to get better because physically he's a late developer. Yeah. And hopefully the next 10, 12, 15 years he plays pro basketball, he's able to be here in the summertime with our guys, work out with them. That gets our guys better. Yeah. And at the same time allows him to have a great place to work. So a win-win.
Could we keep him on the floor another year? Any chance?
I don't know. With the waivers, you never know
what
you got.
I know.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Senior Day is coming up Saturday, the Utah game, final game of the regular season. Senior days, you know, the last few years have been a little different, but it's nice to have an opportunity to recognize those guys.
Well, 100%, and that's something that when you enter college, for those guys that spend 4 hard years, they dream of those senior night moments. And even though it is a lot different for all of us, and the reality is, I was talking to my brother, and in their conference, there is 0 players in the entire conference that have been 4 years at the same school.
Golly.
I believe in the Power 4, there's only 22 total. So, again, that's something that just happens more and more nowadays, where every year, until we get some regulations and things, the thing that's hard is for us coaches is we love that when they start with you.
Yeah.
They develop with you. They graduate with you. They got a home. I mean, we really feel for those that go to 4 schools in 4 years. And, again, like Caden's the exception because this is always home and he's always going to be here. But for other student athletes, like, where do they go? Who helps them afterwards? And with that, too, the graduation rates, I know when when you transfer, it's not like you add hours. Hours are taken away. And the older you are, the less hours and the more that good schools want you to finish from their school. They're not going to let you get a degree at Baylor or Harvard with 24 hours.
Right.
You're going to have to put in the work. So my point with that is there will be changes. We don't know when they will be, but us coaches do care about student athletes graduating, and obviously this isn't the best way to help with that.
And you and your staff have been so good through the years in bringing guys in, developing them, a lot of them red-shirted, along the way just to develop more, and then look where they are when they finish. You're kind of missing out on that. I mean, that's not going to happen as often, is it?
Well, until again, everyone says there's going to be changes, and is it Congress? Is it collective bargaining? I can tell you I'm on the board of the NABC, and coaches, it's funny when you hear coaches, we just want rules. Just give us rules. I don't care what they are. Just give us some
what
rules.
The rules are.
So anyway, and not pointing the finger at the NCAA, because every time there is a rule, it goes to court, and there is no rule.
Yeah.
So what rules can hold up in court and everything. So, but I think everybody agrees you want some structure in life.
All right, very good. We're glad you're here this evening. Tough game last night against Houston, but again, you played and did some really good things against a really good Houston team. Let's take a break, and we'll talk about that when we come back, and then Utah coming in for Senior Day this Saturday. Talk about that and more, and your questions for Coach Scott Drew when we come back on the Baylor Coaches Show.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
Hey Baylor fans, Baylor softball season is currently underway. Come be a part of the action at Getterman Stadium all season long with single game tickets. With general admission tickets starting at just $8, there's no better way to enjoy elite college softball. And if you're coming with friends or family, group tickets are available for $5 each. Get your Baylor softball single game tickets now at BaylorBears.com/tickets.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line. You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's. The Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank, your leading independent bank. Want to remind you, Baylor fans, Bubba's 33 in Waco is hosting a watch party for the Baylor men's basketball first round matchup in the Big 12 tournament. Be on the lookout for more details as game times are announced. Make sure to stop by Bubba's 33 next Tuesday to support the Bears. And we know now Baylor will be either in an 11:30 a.m. game or the 8:30 p.m. game, either the first game of the day or the last game of the day.
Breakfast or supper, you get your choice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which would you prefer? Does it matter?
I don't like mornings.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So 8:30 it is, but I think it's going to be 11:30 because I think you're going to beat Utah and you'll move up a spot in the seedings. So we'll see. How about last night? Gosh, y'all played so hard against a Houston team, had them back on their heels, led the game for over 30 minutes last night. Played really well.
Well, if you really look at it, since we won the 2 games, then went to Iowa State, that was, I thought we really competed, played well, and in that 9-game stretch, only really Kansas State was the only game that I felt like we weren't on point and didn't do what we needed to do to give ourselves a chance to win. So, I mean, when you lead a top 10 team, top 5 team, whatever it is, for 32 minutes, you're doing something well.
Yeah.
When you out-rebound them, you're doing something well. The 18 turnovers at the end of the day, the 28 points we gave up on that was the difference. Normally, you go back and film and you look, and the first thing is we played them early in the year. We were down 30. We didn't give them a game. They out-rebounded us 23-10 on the offensive glass. This time, much different performance by our guys. More offense, defensive rebounds. We had really good looks. Early on we made shots at the end of the first half. I mean, we couldn't set up better shots that we had for the guys that we'd want shooting. So what we always say is the best shooters in the country from 3 are going to make 4 and miss 6. So we get out of 10. So you better get the offensive rebound, and unfortunately we didn't get enough of them in the second half. 1 for 11 from 3 makes it hard to win. But again, we had a lot of great looks. So we got to take care of the basketball. But Arizona, Houston, both teams that could be in the Final Four, could win a national championship, and both teams you have a chance to beat. So I think we've come a long way.
Yeah.
Want to have a really good performance against Utah. We can't thank our home fans enough. They had to watch a lot of bad basketball early in the year. I think we've all figured it out. And I think one of the tough things about a roster flip is you saw it probably took us 9 games in conference to really figure out who to play, when to play them, and then you throw in some injuries there. And it'd been nice to reset and start over, but that's again, there's some teams that have had that luxury. As Coach Self said, their time's coming because it's a new day and age. You're not keeping everybody, and you're lucky if you keep anybody. So with that being said, I think those teams will have those struggles coming up in the future.
Yeah, well, you can't do this, but wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't you love to go back and play some games again the way you're playing right now? Go back and play those again.
100%. I mean, we can compete against anybody, and again, we have eight players that we feel comfortable we could put out there. We're playing 7. But the luxury of having 8 at least allows those 7 to be aggressive and play in a way that gives you a chance to win. When you're at 6 or 7, now you're playing timid and you're really not trying to get in foul trouble. You're trying to change how you attack offensively because you're going to run out of gas. Again, if we can stay healthy, excited for Utah, excited for the Big 12 tournament. We always say you control your own destiny as long as you're playing. Once the Big 12 tournament's over, hopefully you're in the NCAA tournament if you win the tournament. If you get to the championship or the semifinals, you see what happens. And then you have the NIT, you have the crown. So, I mean, you have opportunities for postseason. With this group, they've been really coachable. They work really hard. Spiritually, they've been great. Academically, they've been great. I know as a coaching staff, we want them to end on a high and have some good memories, and that goes as well for our fans because they've been tremendous this year.
All right, very good. All right, that leads into some of our questions from the audience. Let's get to those, make sure we have time. Steve asked, hey, Steve, he asked, do you think we'll get an invitation to the NIT?
Well, and that's where I would think NIT, the crown, we're hoping for the NCAA.
Okay, win 5 in 5 days, and you're in the NCAA tournament next week.
It's been done before.
Yeah, all right. Tommy asked along those lines, is there a way we could get in the tournament in Las Vegas?
Yeah,
that would be the crown, right?
Correct,
right.
Yes.
And that is the top 2 net ranking teams from the Big 12 that are not in the NCAA tournament?
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
So we could be right there. Could be right there for that. All right, good for
now the exciting thing with that is I know we've won an NIT. We've won a national championship.
Oh.
The only other staffs that have done that is Calipari, Calhoun, and Nolan Richardson.
Oh.
I don't think anyone's won the crown.
The crown.
There you go, baby. The triple crown. Let's go.
Oh, the triple crown. That's what we'll call it. I like that. The triple crown. All right. Dr. Wood right here. James asked at this point, by the way, Doc Wood was recognized at a game recently, 46 years, a season ticket holder. So thank you for that. We appreciate it. Very, very nice. Some of you in this room are probably in that same boat. He asked, at this point in time, do you have a feel for which men will stay for next year?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot depends, obviously, how we finish, and with that, what opportunities people have professionally. That changes. So we won't know for sure until season's over, and then probably we won't know until we get some information back from the NBA with the advisory committee.
Yep, very good. All right, Bob Barrett asked a couple of things. What would our record be? What would it have been if you'd had Bodo and Perez and J.J. White all season?
Oh, we'd have been undefeated.
There's the answer. You ask Bob, that's his answer. And he has a comment also. He says, I think the coaching job this staff has done the last half dozen games has been great. So I agree with that. Congratulations.
Get that man some chicken and barbecue. Let's go.
All right, final one. Roy asks, you have coached 3 players. Almost reads like a trivia question, doesn't it? You have coached 3 players that have the scoring record for their states. Any more of these coming? Who are the 3 first?
Well, first, thanks to him helping us out.
Yeah, Roy's got it right. He did the research.
Two-day California's a big school, a big state.
That's big.
Tweety Carter. Now, Tweety played varsity ball, I think, starting in first grade. So
right.
He's kind of a cheat code.
That's how you get to 7,000
yeah,
points.
But Tweety Carter and then L.J. Cryer. So if you would have Texas, Louisiana, California, those are some pretty prominent states, and all those 3 players did a really good job when they were wearing a Baylor uniform.
You got another one coming? That has led his state in scoring.
Right now in recruiting, it's so portal-based, you don't know who you have coming. Because until they enter, and it used to be you recruited people 3 and 4 years. Now you recruit them for 1 week. So,
all right, very good. Good questions, good information there. Let's take a break. Back with more. Coach Scott Drew from the Baylor Coaches Show.
Join us April 23rd at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame in Waco for our next Lunch with the Legend, presented by Baylor Alumni Sports Outreach. Our special guest will be Hall of Fame former men's golf coach Mike McGraw as he steps into retirement. It's Thursday,
second to last one, yeah.
11:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Available by calling 254-710-8300. Join us as we hear from Coach Mike McGraw, presented by Baylor Alumni Sports Outreach.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't buy from social media ads unless the ad is from a verified company. When you click those ads, you open yourself up to fraud. If it seems too good to be true, it almost always is. This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas. Every line, weld, and seal, shaped with the pride, heat, and strength that only Texas really knows. The Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today. Toyota. Let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for details.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
And back with us on the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank. Central National Bank, your leading independent bank. One more segment with Coach Scott Drew,
hey,
Baylor
by the way, we need
coach.
that energy on Saturday, man.
Yeah.
Let's go. Great
we
energy.
need the
Great
energy. The one final game against Utah, final game in the regular season this week. Need a great crowd there. And then it's off to Kansas City. And that new floor there at the T-Mobile Center. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I'm bringing my shades.
Yeah, you might need them. I turned on one of the women's tournament games today just to see the floor in action, and it is wild, but it's pretty cool. I think it's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, it is getting a lot of attention.
Right.
I know that. And I've seen some media people say everyone's going to have a court like that sooner than later. Yeah, so.
I talked to the guy who's with that company, the ASB glass floor, and I said, is it a fair question to ask you how much this costs? And he didn't give me an answer. he said, well, it depends how big a space and all that. He didn't really give me an answer. But it is pretty cool. You think that might be the wave of the future, something like that?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
I would think the way everything's moving technology-wise, entertainment-wise, if it's something that's good for the fans, good for TV, good for the entertainment value, we'll have it.
Yeah. And you could do so many things, interactive things with the floor and the fans and, fan engagement and ads and things you can put on and move and all that. I mean, it's pretty cool. So it'll be fun to see. Yeah. It'll be really good if you win some games in Kansas City.
I'll tell you if we like it, depending on how that game goes.
That's how that goes, doesn't it? Well, you had a really late night getting back last night, and you got a game coming up on Saturday, but thank you very much for being here this evening. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
And thanks again to the Baylor fans this year. You guys have been phenomenal, and I know our team wants to finish on a high note. We're sorry we didn't have the type of year we all wanted to have thus far, but it ain't over till it's over.
That's right. You have nothing to apologize for.
We got a little Yogi, right?
Coach, thanks very much. Appreciate it. Scott Drew, Baylor men's basketball coach. Baylor in Utah on Senior Day coming up on Saturday. Thank you, Coach. We'll take a final break, be back and wrap things up right after this.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray.
All right, we'll have about 3 seconds. Yeah.
Network with.
You're good. No worries.
Your ER has 4 convenient locations.
Hey, you got Coach Drew there. You got to ask him questions,
Learn more. Visit www.premier.care.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Have you been to the new location of Green Eye Associates yet? You'll still receive the same award-winning service and excellent care from Dr. Green and her dedicated optometrists and staff. But now conveniently located in Woodway right off of Highway 84. Come see the expanded optical showroom and be sure to ask about innovative services like IPL treatments for dry eye symptoms and the brand new Sports Vision technology. Green Eye Associates, the official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show. Sports Media Network.
Here on the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank. We'll be back next Thursday. Hope you can join us then. For now, so long from Rudy's.